In winter of 2014, Studio Dean CEO Mr. Ching Chong Wing Dong, I couldn't find his name on Google, found a metapod stuck to his window outside of his fapping corridors. He was fascinated, utterly mesmerized by the beautifully soft green shell of the evolving bug that was turning into a beautiful, almost mythical creature. And so out of admiration, Mr. Ching Chong Senpai Fucker, put the metapod on his hand and he stabbed it to death multiple times with an annihilator. Oh yeah, Pupa. Suti, why are you reviewing Pupa? Well, honestly, it's for the sake of firing shots, and there's really no reason to lie about that, but I'll discuss that at the end of the review. Now sit down and let me tell you why Pupa is bad. Pupa probably has the edgiest premise seen within the last 3 years of the anime industry. Utsutsu, his mom, and his little sister Yume were abused by their father after he was fired from his job for unknown reasons. However, it's safe to assume that it's because he locked those 10,000 people or so in SAO back in 2012, but hey, what do I know? After divorcing the abusive asshole, the mother began to date another man, who she then runs off with because she is too an asshole for some reason, and an idiot for not taking the kids who came out of your body with you. The two kids are, as a result, left in the custody of the abusive shooting guard captain of Seirin High School, where they can only believe in each other. Oh, that's so sweet. You know what else is sweet? Cherries. You know what color cherries are? Red. You know what else is red? Butterflies. Red butterflies spread the Pupa virus. These two kids, who at no point in their life considered running away from their father, because that's just a really stupid idea, right? Look at this red butterfly, and the rest explains itself. They get infected by the Pupa virus, whatever. While Utsutsu, the older brother, reverts back to being a human, his sister turns into a monster and shares regenerative powers with her brother. To suppress this vile demon, Yume, the younger sister, must take a drug and feed on the flesh of Utsutsu. Thinking about the story hurts my brain for multiple reasons. For one, why didn't the mysterious Pupa researcher who gave Yume the cure for the Pupa virus include human flesh within said cure? You would assume that a researcher who has studied the virus for years would know something so basic, but I mean, the chick impregnates herself with the virus, so fuck it, right? Despite the rushed pacing, the story was fairly easy to understand. I guess that's not really a compliment, however, since understanding the story only reveals more problems within it. Yume eating her brother seems as if it was only made to appeal to some weird, disgusting fetish in Japan, and the sensual poses she's in while taking a part in her meal only proves this. Because of the pacing and the short episode runtime, events lack build-up and things just happen, so no particular event feels impactful, and I have no reason to care about anything that happens. Multiple things in the story just feel pointless as well. The entire backstory of our main characters only makes the plot more edgy. The fact that the abuse story was told through teddy bears only makes the story less impactful than it already was. For making fun of domestic violence, I know for a fact it's not censoring because they showed a bunch of other gory stuff like limbs falling off. This teddy bear appears very often, and it symbolizes something that you don't want to lose or somebody precious, so why have the teddy bear represent Anastasia Steele and OJ Limpson? I just don't get it.
My dad beat me. My mother left me. I was raped by a red butterfly. And I left the stove on at home.
Oh, hello there! The cast is really the main issue with Pupa. Many characters are just not interesting for various reasons. Yume is just a dependent little sister and nothing else. She has no defining traits other than being whiny and somewhat seductive, but just refer to her as the little sister archetype. Her brother Utsutsu is the super protective who is okay with gouging people's eyes out because it's an everyday occurrence for him, only it's not. The doctor has a fairly interesting backstory, however, her apathetic character that mocks that of her grandfather's makes you not give a shit about her, and I did mention that she injects herself with bug semen, right? See, nobody really thinks about it like that, but I continue. Mom, as revealed in episode 5, is a fucking masochist. Well then. Ah shit, cut myself on all this edge, god. The dad is just an abusive asshole. However, I do like the fact that he doesn't look like some big abusive jock. You know, the stereotype society and Tyler Perry movies have forced you to believe in. However, I also have to criticize his design for the exact same reason. Later in the show, we're shown that Utsutsu, under the right circumstances, can fight, but the fact that their dad looks like an office worker only makes the rest of the cast feel weak and completely incompetent of taking care of themselves. No one else is really important, and even if they were, I still doubt that I'd have cared about any of them because they probably would have been as shitty as characters as the rest of the cast is. They're all idiots. All of them. I don't mind the art style. In fact, I'm almost a fan of it. It might look ugly in some parts, and Komonezume might have done the exact same art style, but better. But I have no problem with experimentation. The art emphasizes facial expressions, so when something terrible happens, you can tell just by looking at the corresponding characters' faces. Butterflies, a mainstay in the series, by themselves look really nice, and they are really well animated, but they stick out like a sore thumb, and their vibrant red colors make them an eyesore to look at. Thankfully, however, they only appear at the end of every episode, with the exception being the first, so while it is a problem with the show, I could live through it. Lighting is poor, as most scenes have the exact same lighting regardless of the location. This becomes a problem because the art never gives you a hint as to when you should be taking things seriously, especially since teddy bears represent abusive family members. It's hard to take anything seriously after that. Animation, on the other hand, is atrocious. It's as if things were literally just popping onto the screen, in all honesty. Objects, including blood, just fall down like stop-motion leaves. Nothing has impact whatsoever, and when it does, the animation is so lazily done that the impact given off from the scene is instantly retracted. The animation is very choppy, and shading moves abruptly, and so the show just kinda looks terrible. It sounds awful. The OST has very childish sounding tracks, and while that may have been done for stylistic purposes, it doesn't fit the series in the slightest. Yume is eating her brother, cannibalism, and for some reason Looney Tunes music is playing.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
Voice acting is okay, but nothing else, and the sound effects are, oh my gosh. Why does this chick sound like she's drinking water when she's eating her brother alive? Sound effects are muffled, and a lot of the times they don't even fit with what's going on screen. Not much to say here other than the sound, aside from the voice acting, is atrocious. The only value in watching this show is to shit on it. Final thoughts? Pupa sucks. Done. Why did I make this video? I'm sure subscribers of my channel already watch the show and chat on it multiple times before, so you're probably wondering what was the point in me making this review. JC Green, a fellow AniTuber, uploaded a Pupa review for his 12 Days of Anime special, and while he calls the show bad, he never really criticizes it at all. There were way more things wrong with his review, such as the 33 seconds worth of intros, the editing, and the fact that he copied this part out of some random website, but I'm not here to call him out on stuff that he did wrong, despite me just doing so. See, JC highlighted something that has plagued this community for a very long time, and for that, I want to thank him. PSA, if you're going to call something a review the product! You not liking it is fine, but use your critical thinking skills, if you have any, to pick apart any major problems with something before you waste your time putting it up on YouTube, it being the video. I'm not just talking to JC either, because despite how his review was, they're not all like that, at least from a scripting standpoint, assuming he has a script. Paper Reviews is another example. Now stop right there. I have had no problems with Jacob C. Bears as a person. I've already talked to him about what I've thought about his reviews and his channel, and he's completely fine with my opinion, as he should be, because I'm always right. DB recaps more of the episode than he reviews, and when he actually does attempt to analyze the show or use his critical thinking skills, he ends up avoiding the bad parts of the shows, or only talks about what he liked. Not why what he liked was good, nor critically impressive, just that he liked something. Then he screams in fangasms for the other 5 minutes or whatever. So this review is an example to all YouTubers of the same type. I'm not holding myself as some type of role model here, I'm just spreading my message through my own means, which is being an asshole. If you have any problems with this video, put it down in the comments below. I won't censor anything whatsoever. Hell, you can even send a link to a dildo for all I fucking care. I'm not gonna delete it. Just remember, people, reviews are called reviews because you're supposed to review the show.
Why the fuck you lying?
I think it's fucking self-explanatory. That is all. Thank you. Excuse me as I go back to editing this Senko no Night Raid review. Also, Pupa sucks.
途切れた幾目を汚れた世界